Good morning and g'day mate, welcome back to Dyson Sphere with me, Jed, and of course Mr. Icarus with us. And today we're finally going to be turning on a major production line. A major production line we've been working on for like the last 10, 15 episodes, whatever it happens to be. Production line we've been working on for quite some time. We've been trying to make 7.5 carrier rockets per second. But, before we get to turn it on, we need to do something about a little bit of infrastructure, because there's a small amount of smelting you need to do to get 7.5 rockets per second. So I'm back here on our lovely icy smelting planet. This is a lovely icy planet, which we have just a little bit of smelting on, just a tiny bit. It's served us well, but we need to do a little bit more smelting, because even though this is in our home system, which has a lovely reminder to sub to JD. Don't forget to sub to JD. Had to do a little bit of outposting to do a little bit of mining, because out here on the Mitcho system, we've built our 7.5 rockets per second. And whilst we've been out here, we've done a little bit of outposting on this system. Not a lot, just a little bit to get things up and running. But I needed to get a few more lines worth of production, because it turns out it makes 7.5 rockets per second. We need to have 14 full belts of conveyor belt Mark III of titanium ore, plus 10 belts worth of copper. You know, these numbers are pretty easy so far. And then 24 belts worth of silicon, another 24 belts worth of iron. They're the big ones. You know, there's 4 belts worth of stone and you know, a belt worth of the good old organic crystal, plus we need a belt of the optical grading crystal, another belt worth of copper to make energetic graphite. There's been a few dribs and drabs we needed. One of the biggest killers was because we needed to make deuterium fuel rods and we needed to make cashmere crystals. We actually had like 20... Hang on, let me double check. 22 belts worth of hydrogen. So there's a few things we needed to do. So went out and captured two new lovely planets or lovely systems. One is Moonlight. So the Moonlight system had the Hurricane Stone Forest, the Lava Planet. I also had a gas giant out here, which was very, very important, and that one, the organic oceanic jungle. So the oceanic jungle had the organic crystal and the spiniform, both of which we needed. Just need a little bit of organic crystal, need a lot of spiniform, and I actually don't think we have enough yet, but we'll come back to that. And Moonlight is a lovely supporter of the channel. So Moonlight, you know, back to the subscribe to JD, click to the like video on the video. So, you know, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a lovely like button. He'd already clicked that. At the same time, he'd already clicked the subscribe button. He made sure he was subscribed to the channel. Right beside those two buttons, there's a lovely join button. He clicked that button. He went that step above and beyond. He put in a third click into the video, and he became a member of the channel. For his membership, he got two things. He got absolution from any guilt he may have for using ad blocker. So, for the grand total of $1 per month. $1 per month, $12 per year, he managed to support the channel and have some absolution from ad blocker. And all that goes towards supporting the channel, making sure that you get to enjoy lovely videos like this. At the same time, as one of his rewards, along with having early access to videos and other things, was to have a star named after him. So we have the Moonlight system. At the same time, I needed more outposting. So we have Kuchin Salat, which I know I've pronounced wrong, and according to Google Translate comes out to cake salad. So I need to also thank Cake Salad for clicking the join button, also at the grand total of $1 per month, receiving absolution from ad blocker. Has managed to support the channel. This system was actually chosen for a couple of reasons. It didn't have any of the real resources we needed, but it did have a gas giant for direct deuterium. Also had an ice giant for more hydrogen. So we went and grabbed this system as well. The lava planets, you'll find lava planets generally have a lot of resources. So we managed to grab a lot of resources from there. Also, no, it was back on the Moonlight system. On the Moonlight system, it has a Hurricane Stone Forest. Now, Hurricane Stone Forests are a pretty boring planet. They are a new type, but they're pretty boring. There's nothing particularly special about them. But one of the things that they do have is, for whatever reason, it's something probably to do with the code, but when you put down a building, it like sinks into the ground just a little bit. Like the ground is like 3 tiles higher than everything else, which means that I went and foundationed the whole planet because it gave me soil pile. Like for every chunk of foundation I put down, I got like 3 tiles deep. It's like the whole planet is a giant hill. So I foundationed the whole planet just with clear foundation, nothing too spectacular, but it does mean that now I have 58 million soil pile. Each Hurricane Stone Forest planet seems to be worth about 20 million soil pile. So if you're short on soil pile, make a lot of foundations and head out there. And just foundation the whole planet. It only requires like 300,000 foundation or so. So what we need to do is we're back on, as I said, IC smelting because we need to add some production lines. I have my universal smelters. I have a version 2 because the version 1 got broken when the devs went and tweaked how blueprints worked. So I have a new, greater, better version, which is available on Discord. If you want to join my Discord server, you should find a link on your screen right about now, and you can come across and grab these lovely blueprints. Actually, I probably want to fly there. So currently, we've built most of the smelting on the South Pole, and that smelting is supporting the Magna system. The Magna system is producing a lot of science, a lot of science. In fact, it's producing about 30 science packs per second. And they are being flown out to the Mr. J system, out to Mr. J number 1, where we're actually processing all that science out at our black hole, because why the hell not? Processing it out here and turning it into universal matrices to give us 30 science per second. And currently, all the smelting we're doing is supported by IC smelting on the South Pole. I want to now come back to IC smelting and build the production we're going to need on the north side. Yes, so we're going to come over here and we're going to put down just a little bit of smelting. First off, I need to find out where we're going to start, and then we need to lay out a few production lines. And I'm probably going to overbuild things because it's easier to overbuild than it is to underbuild. There's our production line start. Okay, O-build button. Universal Smelters Mark II. Iron. We're going to start from one of this line here, this major meridian line, and I need 17. Oops, wrong button. 17 belts worth of iron. Now, as we can see from this smelter, it is designed to do 120 iron ore per second, or 120 iron ingots per second. So this should do 4 belts. But one thing I've learned is you can never have too much smelting. So we're just going to outline a blueprint or 3 and just quickly fix this up and have just a little bit of iron smelting. Is that the line I'm looking for? Yeah, that's the line. So that's half a planet worth of iron smelting. At the same time, we do need... I need 9 belts of copper, but I think I have the copper already on the south side of the planet. If not, we'll come back and we'll paste in some more in just a second. The other thing I need to grab is sorry, wrong button again. I need to grab a magnet smelter. Now, we have a magnet smelter that does work very nicely right here along the equator line in the middle of the planet. Or it works very, very nicely up here at the higher latitudes, which is much less useful building space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop one of these right here. This should do 120 magnets per second, so 4 belts worth of magnets per second. We're just going to drop that up there. As you can see, it's a little bit more than a quarter of the planet. In fact, actually, you know what we might do? We might just solve magnets forever and just build 3 of these back to back. Collide with other object. Okay, move forward a tile. There we go. Come on, line things up. Cool. Yeah, it gives us a little bit of space that that little bit of space I can't see us ever finding useful. Okay, the other thing we need to do is we need 11 belts worth of silicon. So in my smelters Mark II, 6 slots of high purity silicon, as we can see from the description, does 360 silicon ore for 180 high purity silicon. It is 6 belts worth, and again that should line up right there. So let's collide with other object. What did you collide with? You shouldn't collide with anything. How the hell does the tower collide with itself? Okay. Let's try a temporary one that I made earlier. So it has a different collision. This belt collides with itself. Alright, fine, we'll move on from silicon. I need to get titanium. Let's do a titanium smelter instead. Oh, maybe the other one's facing the wrong direction. That's the issue. It shouldn't be. It should be able to just get dropped in. No? Fine. If I put you that way, does that make you happy? Let's go over to the far... Let's hold that off screen so it doesn't show it, and that gives us more frame rate. We'll come over here and we'll build from the left to right. There. Now you're happy. Okay, I need 7 belts worth of titanium, so I'm going to drop in 2 that collides. Left 1. That still collides. That still collides. That works. Gonna get 2 titanium smelters. We need a glass smelter because we need how many belts worth of glass? 2 belts worth of glass. Well, 5 smelters is probably overkill, but I much prefer, as I said, overkill than underkill. We're just gonna drop you, line things up. No, right 1 tile. Right 1 more tile. There we go. Drop a glass smelter in there. What else do we need? It's really the silicon. Yeah, the silicon we need 11 belts worth. We need 2 whole smelters. Okay, let's try that. Let's try... Oh, no, I need energetic graphene as well. Okay, let's do energetic graphene. Because we need 1 belt of energetic graphene. And currently I have exactly 0 belts worth. So, again, let's... Okay, collides. Right 1 tile. There we go. And... Let's go in here. And high purity silicon... No, right a tile. Now it works fine. Okay. Maybe I selected the wrong smelter block. Wrong smelter design. Okay. Those wind turbines are going to get in the way. Let's just rip them up very, very quickly. And... Oh. Universal smelters. Silicon. I need 2 silicon smelters. No. Right 1 tile. No. Right 1 tile. There we go. Okay, all smelted up. Okay, now, the way all of these are designed, I need to come in here and grab all the belt in the world, plus all the sorters in the world, plus all the smelters in the world. Yeah, that'll get us started. So, all of these are designed to bring in via remote demand and local demand all the resources that you may require. At the same time, they're also designed to bring in warpers from a central tower. Now, I have... I believe it's one of these. This tower. This tower is bringing in warpers. It's bringing them in from the home world with a large logistics vessel, and then using the logistics drones to fly them out to the different towers. So all the towers are warper equipped. As you can see, they're all bringing in local demand, remote storage, so on and so forth. So all we need to do now is just probably put in a very, very long montage with me both dropping ships into... Hang on, I'm going to need more ships. I'm going to need a lot more ships. 100, please. That's a good start. A lot more ships. Dropping ships into every tower, and at the same time... No, slots are full. At the same time, yeah, putting down 10,000 bits and pieces. But look, once this is done, we should have all the smelting we require to get everything up and running. Can I... There we go. Join that into that power network. Oh, that's one thing that they don't have power along the bottom. Or the tops. They're designed to steal power from neighboring builds, which of course means I'm probably going to have to manually put in some power poles. But yes, I think we'll start with a montage. I don't know whether you guys want to see the whole thing. it's probably going to take me a while to get all this built. But we might as well start the process about now. After about 10 minutes, honestly, about 10 minutes to build out all the smelters. They're all up and running. They all have ships. We haven't blown the power grid, which is always a good sign. And I've even come down to our South Pole and some existing smelters. This would be a prime example. This one that Icarus actually standing right beside was doing something unoptimized. It was doing a 2-to-1 ratio, and I've swapped over to a 1-to-1 ratio. And all I need to do is, now we're requesting in the right things, is literally come in here and change the recipe, which we can do by copying, hang on, copying the existing one. We just want the smelters, and paste over the top. Boom, boom, boom. That one, oops, that one, and that one, which should instantly change the recipes over and start it producing some copper as well. So with all that done, it means we can finally... Hang on. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's some serious ship convergence. I apologize, air traffic control. I know you were busy with the South Pole. Sorry, the South Pole. You're now also probably going to be busy with the North Pole in just 1 second, because we need to fly all the way back out to the mid-show system. Out to mid-show number, what's that, 6? 6, and turn that one on and start producing some rockets. A lot of rockets. Like a lot of rockets. Height, speed, go. Which now gives me a chance to bring up another important topic that I've been meaning to cover for a while, but I think we're actually going to cover it right now whilst we're teleporting between, or warping between systems. As you can see, we're going to mid-show number 6. Now, mid-show number 6 is hard to know what it does. So what I want to do is, I have the lovely patrons that like the Taka system, our home system, which we just came from. Taka is a lovely Patreon member. I want to take my Patreon members as well and actually name them after planets. So that's something I'm going to be doing over the next couple of episodes, going through and visiting. Actually, it's probably something we'll do in the next episode. We'll go through, we'll do a massive visit of, whoops, missed entirely. Yeah, having faster warp speed means less chance of you actually hitting your destination planet. Okay, so with that wonderful landing out of the way, yes, it's something I want to do. I want to go through and I want to, I have raw resources on me. That's unfortunate. I want to go through and I want to rename any planet that we're actually using, only the ones we're using, and give them Patreon names. Is that... No, where does the energetic graphene go? Energetic graphene goes over here somewhere. That tower, which is there. Okay. Alright, the other junk material, I'll find a way to dispose of that, probably by throwing it on the ground in the future. Okay, so here we are on our brand new planet. This one is the one that we've spent, as I said, many episodes setting up The ability to start making 7.5 rockets per second. Now, the only minor change that I've done since last episode, I have fixed a few mess ups and a few things that didn't quite work when blueprinting. But the only major change I do want to tell you guys about is we were bringing in deuterium. Oops, in the mass towers. We're bringing in deuterium into this tower, which was a interplanetary tower. It's still an interplanetary tower, but you might notice it doesn't have any logistics vessels. So we were bringing in deuterium into here, along with belt feeding in deuterium from this fractionator build, this fractionator build, this fractionator build, this fractionator build, that fractionator build, and that fractionator build. I have decided that we're not going to do that anymore. We are going to have the one tower that I'm standing beside, and I'm going to bring the deuterium in with drones, because drones have an insane throughput. And they have local towers right here. You don't have drones. You need drones. And you need drones. And you need drones. And you don't need drones. Yes, so I have loaded up all these little towers full of drones, and the idea is we're going to fly the deuterium across the map, just because they have such a higher throughput than basically anything else. That's really been the only change. Everything else, as far as this build is concerned, we all bring in raw resources, and then everything is moved via belts. So the first production line moves in the second, moves in the third, moves in the fourth, all the way along, all with belt production. Nothing is done via bots, except for, and that is the one exception now, the deuterium. So with that out of the way, we need to turn this planet on, which should be a case of come here and go remote. Now, I am expecting to blow up the power grid. That is one thing I'm definitely expecting to happen. Now, all these towers are set up with, as you can see, maximum amount of ships, maximum charging capability, and there are a couple of exceptions where I've actually turned down the warp, the minimum distance to enable warp, and they are basically the hydrogen and the deuterium towers. Remote. There's a tower over there. No, that's not part of the build. That's just a mine. Oh, actually, that is one other. The hydrogen also has the option of using drones. But as you can see, even with max charge rate, the charge in the towers doesn't last long. We turn on you. We turn on you. We're going to turn on you. We're going to turn on you. And I need to grab this one and this one. What else do we have? Continuing down our spine. You're running. You're not running. Turn on you as well. Ships are already made it out and back. All depending on where they're going. Whether they're going all the way back to IC smelting or they're going somewhere more local. Turn that on and turn that on. We've got to be getting close to the end. I don't think I've missed any. I need to turn you on. I need to turn you on. And you on. And you on. I think that's everything. Okay. Alright, so the only thing to do is, one, check the power grid. Well, it's 50% satisfaction already. That sounds perfect. At the same time, zoom out a little bit and see exactly how much traffic we have moving everywhere. So we have ships going out to I don't know where in that direction. We have ships going out that direction. We have ships going out that direction. They must be going and getting deuterium or hydrogen from the Moonlight system. And we have already a significant amount of traffic going back to the Takar system. Probably to IC smelting. Yeah, South Pole is still very, very busy, but the North Pole is starting to have a significant amount of traffic as well. Alright, so the only thing we need to do is we need to start looking and seeing that production lines are actually kicking in. So we have, oh no, power. Let's go do power first, because, you know, power seems semi-important. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to foundation in that. I'm going to put one of those as close as possible. We're going to go sorter to sorter. And unfortunately I can't click and drag these guys around. They're going to be placed manually because they're so far apart. But it should be fairly quick to do. And if I have to add another line of them around the outside, then we'll drag a new belt and we'll do those with a click and drag method. You go there. No, the power grid does hook up. Good. Because these wind turbines take power out to the rest of the base. Okay. So that didn't give us enough power. Where is... You're the one bringing in rods. So we're going to bring that belt down to here. Yeah. And then we'll wrap it around the planet about Yofa. We'll remove that bit of belt. Grab... Actually, I want you... Okay. Cancel. I want you to go to there, and then I want you to come down to there. Actually, I want to grab that sun and tab them out. Let's just have them as close together as possible. Remove that wind turbine and that wind turbine, and drag the belts. Start from there, tab them until they accept. Okay. Can I get one in the middle? No. Oh, that's a shame. Remove you. Parts of the power grid are blue and parts of them are not blue. Yes, those two power grids are not joined. Let's put a single power pole there. Okay, what are we up to? 75% load. 5 gigawatts capacity. Let's keep going just a little bit further. 5.8 gigawatts. That'll do us, I hope. Make sure that wind turbine hooks into the network. 6.3 gigawatts. That's probably enough power. Probably. And no. That one. Can I? Wow. 180. Can I change you to storage? Drag that up. Put that in there. Set that back down. Remote command. Okay. So, in theory, we should be good. Alright, so we need to find our starting position. Where did I start building? Haha! So, we need to confirm that all the production lines work. And in theory, we just wander to the end of the production, just make sure that the rockets are coming out. Actually, let's do exactly that right now. Wow. Entire star cluster. One of these should be set up. Oh, we're making 0 rockets in the entire cluster. Well, that's a good start. Okay, that means probably the one at home base is backed up because we haven't been launching rockets for a little while, but we can see that frame materials are running. So I'm looking for Dyson Sphere components, which should be over here. Dyson Sphere components are missing the production line we were just looking at, which is definitely running. So they're definitely running. In fact, that's their output belt, which is backed up, which is probably a good sign. Probably. You're not running. Why are you not running? Why do you not have a sorter? Why do you not have a sorter? Why do you not have a sorter? I think this seems like a pattern. It seems like one sorter was missing from the blueprint. Okay. If one sorter was missing from the blueprint, chances are it's missing all the way through. So let's just copy and paste that on. And we'll just drag that from start to end. Make sure the missing sorter gets placed. Because this is like 2,500 assemblers. I'm expecting some teething issues. I'm hoping there are none. Hydrogen is doing great. Cashmere crystals seem to be doing fine, because that was one thing I was worried about, because we need to get a lot of those. Okay, you small carrier rockets, which are missing deuterium fuel rods. Deuterium fuel rods are not running because of lack of sorters going in the right direction. Okay, I need that. I just want to remove sorters. I want to shrink that down. And then we'll just remove all the sorters on this build from start to end. There we go. And just quickly just reverse the whole thing. So grab that, go from there to there, the first 15, there to there, the second 15. That should fix that problem instantly. And that should let us start seeing some deuterium fuel rods. Yeah, they're slowly turning on. Deuterium's working at least. That's a bonus. I'm going to set you to send your drones out after you can need 50%. Yeah. Just so drones get sent out a little bit more often. Just in case. At the same time, I did reconfigure these. These were originally set to 12 before they got a refresher of deuterium. I decided, as we were using one tower now, and that means I had 12 outputs, I decided to swap these into gaps of 10, which means rather having 10 belts, yeah, every 12 machines, I now have 12 belts, and a new belt every 10 machines, which means it should keep running perfectly, and we just need to fly. I'm just looking for the little yellow dots, that say machine's not working, like these fuel rods are still waiting on the supermagnetic rings. Production wise, we've made 0.8 small carrier rockets so far. Okay, whilst we wait for that, let's double check. Yeah, you have deuterium. You have deuterium. All these loops seem to be completely out of hydrogen. Really? Okay. You guys seem to be just keeping up so far. I haven't got an outposted for spinniform yet. So that's a thing. You guys, no, you're running. You're running because you're backed up. You're running. Yeah, their belts are backed up as well. The cashmere crystals. There are some with yellow dots. Because they're backed up. Okay, yellow dots for backed up is a perfectly reasonable reason. They're backed up. They're backed up. It looks like because it took a second to get these guys sorted out, that everything else is already a little bit clogged. But we should have a full belt of deuterium fuel rods coming out here and going down to our rocket production. And same story, just try and make sure there's no little yellow dots. There is at the end, which are waiting on fuel rods, which should be picking up slowly, and they should output into the first tower, from the first tower into the second tower, from the second tower into the third tower into the fourth tower, fifth tower, sixth tower, because that lets me buffer 600 small carrier rockets, which is really what I was looking to do. I want to have a decent buffer of carrier rockets, so, you know, if production gets turned off for any reason, it has a little while before I have to start launching rockets again. Sorry, I want that, and that. I'm going to copy that there, remove those, because those belts are a little bit too long, And are we running? Are we running? Are we running? Are we running? Almost. Almost. It's the last 3 machines are not quite there yet. So, production-wise, I would call that a reasonable success. We're up to 60-odd rockets per second, which means... Not this episode. Not this episode. It shall be the next episode. We need to go back to the Magna system with our Type O star, which now has its lovely Dyson ring, because we're building Dyson structures, we're not building Dyson spheres. Plus it has its Factorio belt around the outside. And then it has this lovely star constellation. That's what I'm going to call it. Which next episode, we're going to go over here, we're going to play dot to dot, and I'm going to be converting that Dyson star structure around that Dyson, well, the Dyson structure of Dyson structure of stars into an actual structure that should produce a lot more power. I'm going to do all of it with rockets. I'm not having any sails because sails just dramatically increase the save game size, and frankly I'm only up to 380 megabytes or something, and I do not want to go over to 400 plus megabytes worth of save game. 500, 600 megabytes, so on and so forth. Are they all running? They are all definitely running. Yes, so we have all the deuterium fuel rods are running, which should mean all the other production lines should be catching up. Oh, wow, that is insane. Like 12 belts of deuterium, and they're all moving. Wow. Okay, and yes, it's literally right there. The deuterium fuel rods go right the way around the planet. And how many rockets do we have already? That's the vital question. 1300. And we're up to 140 per minute. The number we're looking for is 7.5 per second over 60 seconds, 450. So we've got a little way to go. Oh no, we're at 441. We're basically right there. So, with all that said, this is where I'm going to call today's episode. It's been a major challenge to get this up and running, but it also means antimatter. Nope. Oh, science is off. Research, upgrades. Let's just throw another one of those on the end at 72,000 points. Production. We have a little bit of a problem with the amount of antimatter fuel rods we're consuming, because that number has got significantly higher with us running more and more planets off antimatter fuel rods. I'm also starting to worry about this number, because we're using a lot of space warpers every minute. In fact, our consumption is above our production, which is never a good sign. Also, our critical photons, like 1800, that's a full belt. We're using we're producing a full belt worth of critical photons every minute. Because science was off, we stopped consuming them, but I just turned science back on at 70,000 packs. So yeah, we need to look in the next episode at, trying to check on our antimatter, our critical photon, and probably our antimatter fuel rods, and warpers. Yeah, we need to go down this whole tree and look at everything in this tree. Antimatter, well, that's antimatter again, and science, well, science turned off because we stopped using it. Science, I think, is fine. I don't know. We also might try and visit that as well in the next episode. But I'm going to leave it here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. I do hope you've enjoyed this little triumphant challenge of making a whole bunch of rockets every small carrier rockets every second. We should have a decent amount. This is why I built one hell of a buffer, because you leave it not running for 5 minutes and not launching for 5 minutes, and suddenly you have thousands and thousands of rockets sitting there waiting to go. So I will see you guys in the next episode, where we continue on our conquest to try and kill the game or kill my PC by just building too big. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. And do me a favor, tell your mum Jenny said hi. Alright, that's it. We're out. Bye.